I want to thank everyone who stopped into tonight's stream. I haven't done anything like that in a while. I actually felt good to be back and talking to everyone again. In the stream tonight, I wasn't paying too much attention to the chat. At one point, I saw people talking about the creator of Galactica. And then after the stream, I took a break, came back to the computer, and then I came across this video from the Sackhoff show. And so I'm going to watch it now because it's Ron Moore, who is the creator of Battlestar Galactica. So apparently this is something I missed out on earlier today. If I knew about this video, I would have covered it in the stream. So let's check it out.
Did you write a Star Wars script?
Back, you mean eventually?
No, I mean, like, rumor has it that you were developing Star Wars at some point.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah. Me being a huge fan of Battlestar Galactica, I'm actually rewatching it now. I'm on season 4. I love the show. I love Katee Sackhoff. I would have lost my mind if I knew about this. I had no idea this was going on. Had no idea about Star Wars Underworld when I was there at all.
What happened?
Yes, there was a point in Galactica was winding down. Caprica was starting. Right around that period, I got a call that George Lucas wants to meet with you about a possible series. What? Huh? Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Again,
just for the meeting.
Just for the meeting. I'm there.
People take a lot of meetings. Doesn't always turn into something, but this is something you hear a lot from directors and writers. You know, they do take a lot of meetings, and so even though it may seem like they get paid a lot for projects, they will take meetings and work on stuff they never get really paid for all the time, and it's in the anticipation they're going to get something and it's going to lead to work and get paid well.
So meet with George. He was very nice, and his producer Rick McCallum. And turned out at that point George wanted to do a live action Star Wars TV series. And this is after he had done the prequels, but clearly before any of the other movies and stuff. And it was like, wow. And what he wanted to do is he wanted to gather a group of writers together, kind of an international group of writers. So I was one of the Americans, and there were some from the UK and from Australia and New Zealand.
I'm just curious about how many people, not how many, but who else was involved. He definitely avoided saying who, but this has definitely piqued my curiosity.
And he would bring us together up at Skywalker Ranch for like a long weekend.
Isn't it amazing? I've only been one time, and I wanted to like stow away.
Yeah.
Skywalker Ranch it's beautiful. It really, especially in the spring when the hills are just vibrant and green. It feels almost like Ireland. I get it. Not to insult the Irish. It isn't Ireland, but it feels like Ireland on the West Coast. It is a really beautiful, relaxing place. So I do miss the days on the ranch a lot.
And like stay forever.
I know. Did you get the tour of like the archives and all that?
I did. John Favreau gave me arranged the tour, and I disappeared.
The archives are cool. It is. I got to go one time as well. Not to brag, but I did get to go.
I went for Dave Filoni's birthday, and John, because I don't do well in parties, and I think John knows that. And so I wanted a tour. And so I left the party with John and Paul Sun-Hyun Lee, and we got a tour of the entire, it was amazing.
It is. So there's I remember 2 ladies that when I was there that worked there, that's their whole job. I know that would be a nerd's dream to come true, but I think they have a legit job. They got a lot of garments and props that come in. They have to catalog it, store it. And then when they give tours, right, I think you could see the look on their faces. Like they're just hoping people don't mess with anything. Like there's the Death Star from Return of the Jedi. And it's very fragile. And they say, please don't even walk past it too fast because it is very, very fragile. You come up the elevator. It's like on the second floor. You come up and walk in, and it's like there's like an open room and a bunch of shelves right up front. to the right is a lot of ships, and then like to the right around the corner, you go back, and that's where like a lot of costumes are.
Amazing.
It's
It's
amazing.
like, oh, there's the Lost Ark of the Covenant.
Yes, that's just sitting right there, the Lost Ark of the Covenant. And back against the wall, I remember, was the cage from Temple of Doom, the Kalima. They lowered him in the lava pit, and it's just sitting there. And when you realize what you're looking at, it's just like propped against the wall, like I propped my snowboard against the wall in the garage.
Yeah.
Right
Surreal.
there.
It was absolutely amazing.
It was amazing. So yeah, we would go for these long weekends or a week or something at a time, sit with George in a conference room at the Skywalker Ranch and break these stories. And then we would go off for like another 6 weeks up by ourselves.
I'll bet they're probably working in the main house. I can guess the conference rooms they're working in, and probably stayed. There's a VIP hotel on Skywalker Ranch. And so for the nerds that want to like book a room there, forget it. I don't even know how you get a room there, but they had this little VIP hotel there. So he's probably stayed there. There is a cafeteria. I had lunch over. It's by the rec center, where the pool and tennis courts are at. It is a really like chill atmosphere. So I can see why George likes to bring people there, because you feel very relaxed and you want to be productive.
Write the scripts, then regather, talk about notes, do another group of scripts. And this went on for like a year or two or something.
Yeah.
We would just gather, break up, gather, break. And the writers would kind of change. Not everybody could go to every session. New people came out. I didn't go to all the sessions. And we wrote something like, I think 48 or 50 episodes. Oh yeah, there's like 40 or 8, or at least it's definitely in the 40s.
Dang.
I think
Really?
48 or 50 scripts for this series. And when we got to that point, George said, okay, that's
Wow. Didn't they say they didn't have any material to work with? Didn't we? Wasn't that an excuse that we heard at some point?
enough. And then he wanted to just take those scripts and he was just going to go shoot them on his dime, which is kind of what he had done with Clone Wars, the TV show.
And Detours, which never aired, and also was Strange Magic. Maybe even Red Tails too. I think he did Red Tails by himself, I believe. Because I believe I remember he had a lot of animosity towards Hollywood, because he didn't feel like he did a lot of interviews where he called Hollywood racist and said that no one cared about the film. So that was his kind of thing. He would just do it.
Right.
Like he was just going to produce this series. And in George's mind, it was, once I've produced it, I'm just going to then take it to a network and go, take it or leave it. This is what it is. I don't care what your notes are. I don't care what your thoughts are. It is done. Do you want it?
Yeah, I would suspect that's probably maybe what happened, because everyone talks about has asked me about like Detours. I can only guess that was probably the same thing.
And they would have no choice but just
But
to
to
say,
take it.
yes, Mr. Lucas, here's
Yeah.
your check. That's where we left it with him. And he
Curious though if that really worked. I mean, that's a huge gamble to take, right? You're assuming they would have accepted the shows just because. I mean, granted, Star Wars and all that, but still, yeah, it's a risk. But that's his own money. I think that was a risk the old man was willing to take, just to stay in complete control.
went off, and I think he did they shot some test footage, because he was, George loves technology, and he was exploring different things of CGI and what became the volume, and all that stuff was percolating at ILM. Shot some test stuff for some scenes, but not too long after that, like another year maybe goes by, and he sold the whole thing kit and caboodle to Disney, all Lucas.
So some people are asking me about bringing up the test footage that's out there, and haven't seen it yet, and I won't put it on, especially in light of what's happening with Ubisoft, striking channels left and right. These big companies, they're not always very nice. So I would not want to put up the footage and get nailed for that. It's really great to sit here and listen to Ron just say a lot of these things out front and just openly. And it's really it's insightful. It really is insightful to see how much was going on behind the scenes. Everyone looks at people that work there like, oh, you know so much. And to some extent you do, but you don't know as much as people think. So I never knew this was going on. I was a huge Battlestar Galactica fan. Loved the show. If I'd have saw Ron walking around the ranch, I probably would have started crying like a complete nerd.
This film, and so the project never happened. And that's what those I wrote. I think 2 of those scripts.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing sitting in a room with George Lucas and arguing about Star Wars.
Arguing about Star Wars.
Oh yeah, because as a writer, at a certain point, you get over your awe, and now you're just in a writer's room.
That's interesting.
And he's telling you something about Darth.
Very interesting to hear someone say that.
Darth Vader, that doesn't make sense. I don't think that's really who Darth Vader is. Let me tell you about Darth Vader. He's actually, and George, well, I don't think that's, Darth Vader. Yeah, but George, he wouldn't do this. You're just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Where am I?
But that's amazing.
Yeah, you just got to forget. And now you're just in a story conference having an argument.
Wow. That was amazing to hear him talk about, and seems to explain so much now. All this coming to light and just kind of connecting the dots. It's been really interesting. So anyways, this is cool stuff. Again, I'm not going to show the footage. I wish I knew about this before my stream tonight. I would have brought this up, but I'll leave link in the description. Man, stuff I wasn't ready to hear. They talked about the ranch, and he brought up the Ark of the Covenant. Like, I completely forgot when I turned the corner and I saw that, and it was just sitting out there. I'm just like it's like sitting on the open, like this tripod behind me is just sitting out in the open. It's like, it's just there. You're just like, what? Oh man, the memories. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all again next time. Not sure if I'll be on this weekend at all. Hopefully I don't have to work. Been very busy, but if I don't see you this weekend, I hope you all have a great weekend. So thank you. Bye.